Imagine being born in a country torn by civil unrest, poverty, and illiteracy. That's how Albert Camus, Nobel laureate and celebrated philosopher, began his life. Born in French Algeria, Camus' early years were marked by struggle. His father passed away when he was just an infant, and his mother battled with poverty and illiteracy to raise him. The odds seemed stacked against him, yet these trials never broke his spirit. Instead, they fueled his determination. But adversity can be a stepping stone to greatness, as Camus would prove. Against all odds, Camus discovered the power of education. This was a man who was born into poverty, whose father died when he was an infant, and whose mother was illiterate. Yet he rose above these circumstances to become one of the most influential thinkers of the 20th century. Camus' journey into the world of literature and philosophy began at an early age. His school teacher, Louis Germain, recognized his potential and fought for him to receive a scholarship to attend high school. This was a turning point in Camus' life, leading him to a path of intellectual growth that would shape his future. At the University of Algiers, Camus dove deeply into philosophy, influenced by thinkers like Friedrich Nietzsche and Arthur Schopenhauer. Their works opened his mind to new ideas, challenging him to question the world around him. He began to see the world through a different lens, and this is where he developed his philosophy of the absurd, which would later become a cornerstone of his works. But Camus's education didn't stop at the university. His experiences during World War II, working for the French resistance and as an editor for the underground newspaper Combat, further shaped his thoughts and beliefs. These experiences brought him face to face with the harsh realities of life, reinforcing his existentialist views. Education for Camus was not just about acquiring knowledge, it was about understanding the world, questioning norms, and finding meaning in life. It was about embracing the absurdity of existence and finding joy in the struggle. Camus once said, "An intellectual is someone whose mind watches itself." This self-awareness, this constant questioning and reflection, was a product of his education. It was what made him the thinker he was, and it was what allowed him to create works that continue to inspire and challenge us today. So what can we learn from Camus' journey? It's that education is more than just textbooks and classrooms. It's about experiences. It's about questioning. It's about growth. And above all, it's about discovering who we are and what we believe in. Camus once said, "Real generosity toward the future lies in giving all to the present." Let's take these words to heart and embrace the power of education, not just for our future, but for the here and now. At the age of 17, Camus was struck by tuberculosis, a battle he would fight all his life. This was not simply a physical challenge for Camus, it was a philosophical one. It was a struggle for existence, a battle against the absurdity of life, a fight that would shape his existential philosophy. Here was a young man full of potential, suddenly confronting the unpredictable and often cruel reality of life. His dreams of becoming a teacher were shattered. The physical toll was immense, but perhaps even more significant was the psychological impact. Each day was a battle against the absurdity of life, against the indifference of the universe. Camus was not one to back down from a fight, though. He chose to face his illness head-on, to wrestle with the absurdity, to engage with the struggle. It was during this time that he began to develop his philosophy of the absurd. Through his own personal struggle, Camus came to understand that life was inherently meaningless, that it was filled with absurdity and chaos. But here's the thing. Camus didn't surrender to despair, far from it. He saw the struggle itself as a way to create meaning. As he would later write in his essay, The Myth of Sisyphus, the struggle itself towards the heights is enough to fill a man's heart. This was not just a philosophical stance for Camus. It was a way of life. He continued to write, to think, to challenge himself and others. His illness, which could have been a source of despair, became a source of strength. His struggle for existence became a struggle for meaning. Camus once wrote, "In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer." This captures his spirit, his resilience, his determination. It captures his refusal to surrender to the absurdity of life, his decision to fight, to struggle, to create meaning. Camus taught us that despite the absurdity of life, we must continue the struggle, for in the struggle lies the meaning of life itself. So let's take a leaf out of Camus' book. Let's continue our own struggles, and in doing so, create our own meaning. In the face of Nazi occupation, Camus chose the path of resistance. In a world that was losing its compass, where darkness threatened to extinguish the light, he stood firm. A beacon of hope, a symbol of resilience, and the embodiment of courage, Albert Camus refused to bow down to tyranny. In the heart of World War II, as France crumbled under the weight of Nazi occupation, Camus chose not to stand by silently. Instead, he joined the French resistance, a courageous group of individuals who refused to accept the chains of oppression. Camus used his pen as a weapon, his words as a shield. He became the editor of Combat, the clandestine newspaper of the resistance, spreading hope and defiance throughout France. His role in the French resistance was not merely the result of a spontaneous decision. It was the culmination of a deep-seated belief in freedom, a value he held dear. He was driven by an unwavering commitment to justice. His courage was not reckless, but a reflection of his profound understanding of the value of human life and dignity. Camus was not only a writer, but also an active participant in the fight against oppression. He risked his life daily, knowing the stakes, understanding the potential consequences, yet he chose to face the danger head-on. He chose the path of resistance, not out of naivety, but out of a deep conviction that freedom was worth fighting for. His courage was not a solitary act. It was a message to his fellow men, a beacon for others to follow. His actions during this time were a testament to his belief in the power of the human spirit, in the capacity of individuals to rise above adversity and stand against tyranny. Today, Camus' courage continues to inspire us. He serves as a reminder that we, too, have the power to resist, to stand up against injustice, to fight for what we believe in. As Camus once said, the only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion. Camus believed in the power of revolt, in standing up against injustice and oppression, and his life serves as a testament to the power of resistance, of the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. In 1957, Camus received the Nobel Prize in Literature. This marked a pinnacle in his illustrious literary career, a testament to his profound influence on the world of existential philosophy and literature. Camus, in his lifetime, crafted narratives that were not only thought-provoking but also deeply resonant with the human condition. His works, like the enigmatic The Stranger and the philosophical treatise The Myth of Sisyphus, are prime examples of his genius and his relentless pursuit of exploring life's inherent absurdity. The Stranger, a novel of unsettling tranquility, introduced us to Meursault, an indifferent protagonist who defied societal norms and expectations. This novel, with its stark portrayal of human alienation and insensitivity, brought Camus into the limelight, earning him a place amongst the most influential literary figures of the 20th century. Similarly, The Myth of Sisyphus, an essay that delves into the concept of the absurd, presents us with a philosophical perspective that is both profound and relatable. Here, Camus uses the Greek myth of Sisyphus, a man condemned to endlessly push a boulder up a hill, only for it to roll back down, as an analogy for the human condition. He argues that despite life's inherent meaninglessness, one must still strive to find personal meaning and happiness. This, in essence, is the key to understanding Camus' philosophy of life. Camus' literary accomplishments were not only a product of his intellectual prowess, but also a reflection of his personal experiences and his ability to perceive the world in a unique light. His works are a testament to his belief in the power of the human spirit, its capacity for resilience, and its relentless pursuit of meaning in a seemingly meaningless world. It's no wonder, then, that in 1957, the Swedish Academy recognized his literary genius, awarding him the Nobel Prize in Literature. This accolade, however, was not just an affirmation of Camus' literary excellence, but also a validation of his profound impact on the world of literature and philosophy. Camus once wrote, "In the depth of winter I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer." This quote, a testament to his indomitable spirit, perfectly encapsulates Camus' philosophy and his enduring legacy. Camus' life was cut short in a tragic car accident, but his legacy lives on. A man of letters, a philosopher of the absurd, Albert Camus was a beacon of thought who enlightened the world with his profound insights on existentialism and the human condition. His works continue to resonate, not just within the realms of literature and philosophy, but also in our everyday lives. His disarming honesty and unwavering commitment to the integrity of human values have become more relevant than ever in our increasingly uncertain world. Camus' exploration of life's absurdity, his assertion that life is inherently devoid of meaning, and our human compulsion to seek it nonetheless, has prompted countless individuals to question their own existence, to seek purpose amidst the chaos. His philosophy, a beacon of existential thought, continues to challenge and inspire, encouraging us to confront the uncomfortable truths of our existence. Beyond philosophy, Camus' influence in literature is undeniable. His narratives, rich with symbolism and metaphor, have been a source of inspiration for countless authors and playwrights. His seminal works, including The Stranger, The Plague, and The Fall, have each left indelible marks on the landscape of literature, their themes and characters echoing through the corridors of time. Yet it's not just in the academic sphere that Camus' legacy endures. His ideas have permeated the fabric of popular culture, influencing films, music, and even video games. His thoughts on freedom, rebellion, and the human condition have resonated with many, sparking conversations and debates that transcend generations. But perhaps the most enduring aspect of Camus' legacy is his unwavering belief in the power of the individual. He championed the idea that every single one of us has the capacity to rebel against the absurdity of life, to carve out our own meaning, and to live with dignity and authenticity. Camus once said, "The only way to deal with an unfree world is to become so absolutely free that your very existence is an act of rebellion." And so, as we navigate through the uncertainties of our times, let us remember Camus' words and embrace the freedom that comes with the courage to exist. What can we learn from Albert Camus, a man who fought adversity, illness, and oppression to leave an indelible mark on the world? Firstly, we can learn the power of education. Camus, born into poverty, understood that education was his ticket to a better life. Despite his challenging circumstances, he pursued knowledge with a fervor that eventually propelled him to the heights of intellectual society. His life teaches us that no matter where we start, education can be the key that unlocks the door to opportunity. Secondly, Camus showed us the courage to resist. Whether it was resisting the Nazis during World War II or resisting the nihilistic mindset that life is meaningless, Camus stood firm. He fought against the tide, refusing to be swayed by popular opinion. From him, we learn the importance of standing up for what we believe in, even when it's unpopular. Next, Camus taught us the search for meaning. Despite his existentialist label, Camus was not a nihilist. He believed in the absurdity of life, yes, but he also believed that we must create our own meaning. He demonstrated that life, in all its absurdity, is still worth living. Through his writings and his philosophy, we can find the courage to create our own meaning in a seemingly chaotic world. Finally, Camus embodied the spirit of rebellion. Not in a sense of aimless anarchy, but rather a rebellion against the status quo, against complacency, against accepting things just as they are. He challenged his readers to question, to push back, to demand more from life. From Camus, we learn the value of questioning the world around us and the importance of forging our own path. Remember, Camus was not born into privilege or ease. He was born into a world that did not expect him to achieve greatness, but he did. And he did it by harnessing the power of education, showing courage in resistance, finding meaning in the absurd, and embracing the spirit of rebellion. We can apply these lessons from Camus' life to our own. We too can educate ourselves, resist when necessary, search for our own meaning, and rebel against complacency. We can make our own mark on the world just as Camus did. In the words of Camus, "Don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Walk beside me, just be my friend." Let's walk together, learning from the life of this extraordinary man and applying these lessons to our own lives.